And welcome back to Starting Point. Tonight, President Obama is going to accept his party's nomination, but Democrats hit a snag on the floor yesterday. They amended their party platform, reinserting language on God and Israel that was in the 2008 platform, but wasn't in this year's platform. They had to vote 3 times by voice, with many delegates yelling no at each attempt. Here's how it sounded.
All those delegates in favor say aye. All those delegates opposed say no. In the opinion of the, let me do that again. All of those delegates in favor say aye. All those delegates opposed say no. I'll do that one more time. All those delegates in favor say aye. All those delegates opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 have voted in the affirmative. The motion is adopted.
Joining us this morning, Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She's from Florida. She heads the Democratic National Committee. What happened? Explain that whole thing to me, because that was a bit of a mess yesterday. The platform in 2008 had God and had Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. It was out in 2012. Why?
Well, here's what happened. On Tuesday, we adopted a 100% strongly pro-Israel platform that I was so proud to support. I'm told that I'm the first Jewish woman to represent Florida in Congress. I bring my love of Israel to work with me every single day. So I was proud of our platform already. In fact, it has stronger language even than the Republican platform on preventing a nuclear-armed Iran. And then President Obama essentially said, you know what? My personal view is that Jerusalem is and always will remain the capital of Israel, and that was the language we had in 2008, and he felt that the platform should reflect his personal view.
Why was it out? I mean, there was a change from 2008 to 2012 where the word God was missing and the capital, Jerusalem as a capital, was missing.
Essentially, with Jerusalem, it was a technical omission, and nothing more than that. There was not any debate. Through the drafting process and the platform committee process, there was never any discussion or debate or commentary over adding or subtracting it. President Obama, when he realized that the language was not in there and it wasn't there from the 2008 platform.
And that came after there was criticism of the platform. I mean, he didn't wake up one morning and discover that it wasn't there.
No, let's not make more of this than it is. There was not any discussion about the fact that...
No, I mean on TV, right?
No, I mean on TV. No. I'm saying there wasn't any discussion beforehand or even since the commentary afterwards. This was President Obama's belief. See, the difference between our platform and the Republican platform is that President Obama knows that this is his platform, and he wants it to reflect his personal view.
Right, but
Mitt Romney...
I hear you, I get it. We're not talking about the Republican platform for a moment.
So there's a big difference.
There is a big difference, but this moment I want to focus on the Democratic platform.
From a platform that is his.
So when there was sort of a backlash about these words not being in it, the president then said, this is my vision, and added it back in. But what happened on the floor was...
You can't make the if-then statement. What I'm telling you is that this was essentially a technical omission. It didn't have... The adding of Jerusalem into the platform was making sure that the platform reflected more clarity on what was already a strongly pro-Israel platform.
But it was added back in because you're getting backlash about it.
No, it was not. It was added back in because President Obama personally believes that Jerusalem is and will remain the capital of Israel, and felt that the platform needed to reflect his personal view as well as the language from the 2008 platform.
When you listen to that voice vote, I mean, part of the chaos was that, and when I spoke to the mayor, LA Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa yesterday, and I said, you seem surprised. He said, no, I wasn't surprised. He looked surprised that the ayes, the yays are as strong as the no's. Well, it is. If you listen, I've listened to it now 150 times. It is.
I've been a legislator for 20 years now, and I can probably count on one hand the number of times that a unanimous vote was held. So, you know, we have 6,000 delegates. You know, for there to have...
But it was half and half. I mean, we're not talking unanimous. And it sounded almost 3 times. It sounded very, very close. And then at the end, he said, well, 2/3 majority.
So that I'll go back to the fact that Tuesday, we adopted a strongly pro-Israel platform that was had even stronger language on Israel than the Republican platform does. And then we added, for the purposes of making sure President Obama's personal view on Jerusalem being the capital of Israel always and should remain, now we have even more clarity in our platform.
But last night you said, and Anderson really took you to task for this, he wasn't interviewing you, but you were talking on the floor, that you said there wasn't any discord. There clearly was discord. People were saying no and standing up, and I mean, we have video of people angry.
Among 6,000 delegates, to have a small amount of objection in any essentially legislative process is sort of par for the course, and that's all that was.
You were there. Did it sound like a small amount of objection?
No, there was some discord there. It was kind of hard to tell what they were mad about, whether it was God or whether it was the Jerusalem thing, although we did see some delegates with Arab American signs. My question is, yes, I think it's fair to say that there was strong pro-Israel language in the platform, but you know so well, maybe more than most, that the issue of Jerusalem being a capital is so politically sensitive. Was it just, how did it happen that wasn't in there, given the fact that it was such a big deal that it was added 4 years ago for the Obama campaign to have an olive branch to the Jewish community?
Like I said, our platform already reflected President Obama's incredible record in support of Israel, reflected that President Obama has always had Israel's back and will continue, as will the Democratic Party. And he believed, because this was omitted, he believed that it needed to reflect his view on Jerusalem remaining the capital of Israel. And so, for purposes of clarity, he felt it was important to add it in. And
did you?
Did I
feel it was important to add it back in?
Absolutely, yes.
So David Frum is shaking his head, no, no, no.
I wasn't at the platform meeting. And it's possible you've done your platform differently from every incumbent president in the history of modern platform writing. But the way it normally works is the president has somebody there. And on any issue the president cares about, the president indicates to the platform writers what the president would like to see. And on foreign policy issues...
the Republican platform with the Human Life Amendment and Mitt Romney?
No, the Republicans don't have a president right now.
You're right.
The Republicans don't have a president right now. But when...
The candidate or the president...
Let him finish his question.
But presidents have a lot of sway. And on foreign policy, because they have patronage powers, and Mitt Romney has much less control over his party than a President Romney would do. But the president did... Okay, the question is, what did the president not have somebody there? And if the president felt so overwhelmingly, passionately, strongly about Jerusalem, notwithstanding the fact that he didn't talk about either in his big Middle East final status speech, if he felt, why didn't he just indicate, people do me a favor, include the language I want? Did he just have a bad representative there?
I've been listening to what Debbie's been saying, and apparently you're not listening. What she says is this is an election between Mitt Romney and President Obama, and we wanted to make sure that the platform reflected the president's position on this issue.
But our platform writers forgot.
But in your platform, you have Mitt Romney running away from your platform on some issues. So we wanted to make sure that the president was in sync with the platform, and that's why they made sure that his position was in there.
But it seems like an important issue
to
have a mess up on, right? I mean, of all the issues, of all the things that you could have a mistake on, this particular one seems like a really big one to be like, oh, technical issue.
Let's be clear.
I think that's why people are a little cynical about that.
Clarity here is important.
I agree.
When President Obama realized that an important issue like Jerusalem, which he believes is and should remain the capital of Israel, when he realized that that omission was there, unlike Mitt Romney, who says that he opposes his party's platform on human life and that he wants an exception for rape, incest, and the life of the mother, never insisted, never did anything about it, didn't even try to change it. President Obama, when he realized there was this omission, said this platform should reflect my personal view.
The reason why what you're saying is so non-credible is because we all know President Obama does not feel strongly about Jerusalem. He walked back his AIPAC speech in 2008. In his big Middle East final status speech, he made a commitment on borders. He did not make a commitment on Jerusalem. We all know he doesn't feel strongly about it. That's why this is explosive.
Strongly object and disagree with you. President Obama, as Defense Minister Ehud Barak has said, has been a strong friend of Israel. In fact, he could not recall. Well, no.
We're talking about how does he feel about Jerusalem, and we know he thinks that he's not going to strong commitment.
We have a president who strongly supports Israel and who strongly supports, so strongly that he's realized when our platform did not include language that he personally feels strongly about, he insisted that we put it back in. And let's compare that to the previous administration, who also had a president that said Jerusalem is and should remain the capital of Israel, and that he would move the embassy, and didn't. I mean, words matter, But deeds matter more, and President Obama has consistently had a record standing by Israel, having Israel's back, and making sure, unlike Mitt Romney, that he wants his platform to reflect his conviction. There's a clear choice and a clear difference.
Words clearly matter. That's why we're having this debate about what happened on the floor, because that was chaotic.
And now the words are in our platform because President Obama's personal belief was that they should be there.
Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, nice to have you with us.
Thank
you.
You.
Appreciate it. We got to take a short break. We're back in just a moment.